if you didn't see my interview with David Stevens yesterday on the show, he's the past president of the NBA and the director of the FHA. Yeah, this guy knows a lot. You should check it out. He gives great insight into what the next 18 months are going to look like. Let's just put it this way. Winter is going to be cold. And as they say,
winter is coming.
Listen, what's going to sustain you is going to be your debt consolidation, cash out refinances, period. That's it. The purchase market is going to slow down as well. Debt consolidation, cash out refinances. Now, my friends over at Mortgage Vigilante will help you close these deals. They close at like an 80% ratio. Here's what happens. You're going to have somebody who's got a 3.5%, 4% interest rate, and you're going to sell them a 7.5%. Well, why would anybody do that? Well, what happens is you have a 7% real rate, but with Mortgage Vigilante, when your clients work with them, it becomes an effective 2 to 3% interest rate. How's that possible? Well, what they do is they work with them over a decade, paying their bills off in the appropriate order at the appropriate time, and they'll make your clients debt-free to a 10 to a 12-year period. Listen, they stay in touch with your clients on a monthly basis, and you are part of that marketing, so you get built-in marketing as well. You need to talk with these guys. They don't charge you anything. This is just a way for you to close more business, and you're gonna need it because rates, well, they're gonna keep climbing, my friends. If you wanna get a copy of the webinar, just click this banner right over there, and we'll send it to you. No cost, no obligation, but this is what you need to do. Oh, so, hey, we got good news. For once, good news from the IRS, and that's like saying smart policies from the state of California. But in this case, it's true, we got good news from the IRS. Yeah, the IRS is increasing the standard deductions for 2023 as inflation kicks into overdrive. For single taxpayers and for married individuals filing separately, the standard deduction rises to $13,850 for 2023, and that's up $900 from 2022. The standard deduction for married couples filing jointly for tax is increasing by $1,800 from last year to $27,700.
And for heads of households, the standard deduction will be $20,800 for tax year of 2023, up $1,400 from 2022.
Well, why are they doing this? It's pretty simple here. Data released by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics last week showed that compared to last year, rent is up 7.2%, electricity is up 15.5%, groceries are up 13%, and get this, ouch, insurance, health insurance up 30%. So now you get a better deduction. But moving on to another story. What do they say about that road to hell? Yeah, California politicians, Mensa members they or not, the state succeeds in spite of our politicians, kind of. Here's an example. Solar panels, they're a great thing, right? Let's create a program that allows any homeowner in California to put solar panels on their roof without coming out of pocket at all. And guess what? Californians did in droves. Now, what the state did was they put a super first lien in front of their existing first mortgage lien, thus making it impossible to sell the home without paying off the solar panels, or even get this, refinance the house. You can't do it. Now, imagine you have a 7% interest rate and rates go down to say 3%. You're stuck with your 7% interest rate because no new first mortgage is going to subordinate to a state tax in a super first lien position. It compromises the loan. Anyways, now those first generation solar panels that our well-intended Californians got have lived their life and they are done. Kaput, capiche? So how do we dispose of them? How do we recycle these old solar panels? The answer is we don't. The state of California has no solution for the mounting millions upon millions of lifeless used solar panels, and to add injury to insult, it costs more money to break down the panel and recover the raw materials than what it costs to just go dig and get new raw materials. Imagine that.
Now back to that great legislative decision making. California just passed a half a dozen Assembly and Senate bills making some significant changes to the regulation of additional or auxiliary dwelling units referred to as ADUs. But it's not well thought out and it could turn into a complete cluster.
An ADU is a secondary dwelling unit with complete independent living facilities. Think granny flat and garage conversions.
Now, California says these are great strides towards fair ADU laws. Better legislation means more accessory dwelling units, happier homeowners, improved property values, and more accessible housing for lower income renters. And it could certainly help to address California's million-unit housing shortage.
What do they say about that road to hell? Because you see, it doesn't. Here's the kicker. Fannie and Freddie and the good old FHA all specifically exclude lending on properties with more than one ADU.
What wasn't considered here is that building a second ADU on your property means it becomes essentially unfinanceable and as such unsellable. I mean, outside of a cash transaction or seller-funded financing, it's a little bit reminiscent of our solar panel problem.
This gets more comical by the minute, guys, because do you want to know the most common way to fund the building of these additions? It's to take a cash-out refinance with the intention of refinancing that loan again after the buildings are done, when they're complete, and with the improved values, so you can get the refinance at the lower rate. But now that option, it's just off the table. So share this and educate. If you have clients considering ADUs, the granny flat type of thing, right? Make sure they have thought this whole thing all the way through, because it's going to limit what they can do with that property. And speaking of thinking things through, the midterms are here right now, and I suggest this: just vote out the incumbent wherever you're at, because from my vantage point, all these suckers have let us down. Hope this helps, and can't wait to see you till Monday. Thanks a lot.